and gentlemen, welcome to this week's roundtable discussion, arguably our most comedic topic yet. Greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time. My esteemed panel is with me as always. I don't leave without them. Get this road on the show, if you will.
Get the jiggle over there.
Of course, I'm going to start right here, face forward. The man, the myth, the one that the belly dancers want to be with. Runner of the Davy Jones and the Shakira fan club, my man, Mr. Duke Logan. How are we, Dookie?
I'm doing good.
And of course, as always,
Because I wasn't done talking.
as always, the balls and the beautiful, my sweet sapphire. She is America, Johnny Blaze.
Off the brakes on that. How you doing?
Johnny Blaze, young as always.
Oh man, I'm good. You?
Good to have you here. And of course, he brings it live via satellite. My man, oh, I didn't get you this time. Terrorist fist.
I also asked you a question,
Terrorist
but
fist.
cool, keep it moving.
Terrorist fist. Kablow! That's how the terrorist fist goes. And my man, Joey the Shark, he brings it live via satellite. Who gives it? Terrorist fist to the webcam. Let's do it. Come on. Yes! Kablow! Hello! Anyway, now that's racist. My man, bringing it live via satellite, Joey the Shark, Mr. Michael McDonald!
Thank you very much. This is all brought to you in part by Yoplait Light Yogurt, banana leaf flavor.
It's very interesting when a wrestling fan, who is a man, advertises banana products. Moving on, greatest Intercontinental Champions of all time. Certainly looking to be one of our most epic discussions ever. We're on Bill O'Reilly mode right now, and I like it like that. Of course, to start this conversation off, you have to start with the inaugural inaugural Intercontinental Champion.
Get all that cream.
He's so concentrated.
Inaugural Intercontinental Champion, Pat Patterson,
Yes.
who of course won the title in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, defeated Ted DiBiase in the tournament, all those things. Duke, I'm going to start with you. What is Pat Patterson to the Intercontinental title?
You gotta think about almost what Vince McMahon is to the WWE. The Intercontinental title is, I like to call it the Intercontinental Heavyweight title, because that's what it was
Yes.
at the beginning of its inception. But Pat Patterson embodies a guy, when he wrestled, if you haven't seen him wrestle, you should. He really put his heart into everything he did, and I think you kind of, as we go forward, you'll see the people that we name kind of follow that sort of MO, where they put their heart into everything they did in the ring, and that's what the Intercontinental Champion was. He put everything into the ring, everything, and he was a great champion.
Yes, he was. Michael, what exactly does the Intercontinental Championship mean to you?
The Intercontinental Championship, it has a lot of weight. It's not, some people, the way it is today in current wrestling, it's kind of viewed as just kind of like right beneath the World Heavyweight or WWE Championship. I kind of feel that, I feel like the ICE title is actually a little bit more prestigious these days than the World Heavyweight or WWE Championship.
Okay, why is that?
It's gonna sound unusual, but look at how rare look at how rarely the IC Championship changes. There's no Money in the Bank just for the IC Championship, and to that extent, I feel that the Money in the Bank kind of dropped how prestigious the World Heavyweight and WWE Championships are. I just feel that the IC Championship, it's more prestigious, it's worth more than the World Heavyweight and WWE Championships. That's just my opinion. I don't like the way those championships are being treated, and I feel the IC Championship, for me, it's got a bit of a goal. I have a soft spot for it, primarily because that was Macho Man's biggest thing, and I'm a huge Macho Man fan.
We've got a counter. We've got a disagreement here. We've got several. Let's get on.
You can't step into the fire that way and say the Intercontinental title is larger than if there is a title to say it's larger than, it probably you can get it.
There was a time where it might have been.
You could have gotten away with it by
No,
saying
it
the
didn't.
world
Well,
title.
not now, but there was
But
a
you
time.
can't get away
Yeah.
with it by saying it's bigger than the WWE title. There is no title larger than that one right there, regardless of how it's being used.
I don't respect the WWE title. It feels like a joke these days. I just don't like
It
it.
hasn't changed hands in over 7 months.
That's not saying anything.
So what?
That's not my point. My point is I just don't like it. Frankly, I just don't like the championship. I don't like the way he's been treated. I like that CM Punk's had it.
No. You see what
But-
you? No, all right. Let's step away from making it modern. Stop thinking modern. Think about that WWE Championship when Macho Man held it. Think about that.
I'm talking modern. I'm not talking overall. I'm talking right now. I said in the beginning of my statement, right now, at this point in time, I feel XYZ. So you silence.
But you can't say that then if you're going to use Macho Man as a reference.
I didn't use Macho Man as a reference. I said I have a bit of a soft spot.
Because of
I didn't
Macho
say
Man.
because- yeah, but I'm not saying that the only reason that the... Actually, waving your hand is completely distracting.
I'm sorry, but
Mad Black, right?
making valid points.
Anyway.
Not to discredit the prestige that title holds. I'm not dismissing the prestige
Watch
that the
your step
IC,
there, 'cause Lou dropped
IC
knowledge.
title holds. It holds tons of prestige. However, I feel just the opposite of what you feel. I feel the IC title isn't being treated the way it should be. I feel it should be given more credit than it's actually given. Being put on people just to put it on someone is a joke. And I can't stand it.
I get that, but I feel with the WWE Championship, I feel like the person holding it right now is just holding it because they don't really have anybody else to put it on.
You're out of your mind.
That's
You're out of your
For
mind.
champion.
That's
Silence.
So you're calling CM Punk a paper champion?
I'm not saying he's a paper champion. I just feel it's like you have two options primarily to go ahead and give that title to are CM Punk or John Cena. There's not.
No.
You are totally discrediting Daniel Bryan, Kane, Randy Orton, who
Chris
just made
Jericho,
Chris Jericho.
Wade Barrett.
Yeah, no. Let's get rid of Randy Orton right now.
You got to take your bias away from it. And you can't think modern. You have to think as a whole.
But if I'm only speaking of one time frame, I'm
But
not
you
going to
can't do
include
that.
everything all together.
You can't do that. That's like trying to talk about Ric Flair's career. Let me focus on the 90s. Or let me just focus on the 80s. You have to encompass everything if you're going to focus on somebody's career. And that includes a title, because the title has a career.
I'm not arguing with the fact of the title. What I'm saying is, at this point in time, at this point in time, it's just not how it used to be. It's not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the title as a whole is a joke. I'm saying at this point in time, I just don't like how it's being treated.
Okay, well, to counteract every single thing you're saying so that we can move on from the topic, if that's how you feel about both championships, CM Punk has had the title for 7 months. A year ago, if I said that, you would have thought I was lying.
Yeah.
And the Intercontinental Championship continues to pass around. Topic closed. We're going to move on now. Johnny Blaze,
Yes, sir.
what Intercontinental Championship match do you remember? On the top of your head.
Ooh, wow.
Memorable.
Good. Wow. How did you do that? Off the top of my head.
Coco Beware versus.
No. Thank you very much.
I love you.
I don't right now. Jericho China?
Why that?
You said off the top of my head, that's the first thing that
Which
popped
was
in
a
my mind.
decent match. Armageddon 99. Never forget it. It's in the
You
VHS
have-
collection.
In my opinion, one of the greatest IC champions of all time.
Absolutely. Well,
And I said in my opinion, and then you have a female trying to get the IC title.
and the match resulted in both of them winning.
Yes. Very
History
different.
making, and it's only been done once.
Yeah.
You know, and they were co-IC champions. It's a good opener. Match that stands out in your mind, Michael McDonald.
Macho Man versus Modern Era.
That would be a great match.
Sorry.
Let me think. A match that stands out in my head. Can I pass on this one? Because I've got like 3 in my head. I just can't.
Just say
I
it.
can't.
No, but say it. No, say that.
I'd really rather wait a few minutes.
Can I cut in?
Alright, I'll get back to you. Duke, save us.
You know, we spoke about the WWE title and the Intercontinental title. We got to talk about the Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan. Now, here you had Hulk Hogan holding the prestigious WWE title, or WWF title at the time. And he was a top babyface, top champion. He was the man. Then the
Intercontinental Champion. And the Warrior.
Then the flip side, you had probably, for probably the first time in the business, the Intercontinental Champion was possibly more popular than the WWE Champion. And here you had two babyfaces squaring off. One holding the WWE and one holding the IC, and the guy holding the IC title was probably the favorite going in. Maybe that's an opinion. I'm gonna say that now.
If I was there in '90, I don't know if Warrior would have been the favorite.
No one had charisma like Warrior, even if you're Hulk Hogan. And that was just a huge. And all of a sudden, the Ultimate Warrior, the guy who was holding the
momentum-wise, yeah, because Hogan had a lot of obstacles before Mania.
That's right.
Especially considering that before and after he was feuding with Earthquake and Bravo and all that. Perfect and the Genius. He just came off a feud with Perfect, where Perfect smashed the belt. Got that in the collection.
And in case you haven't seen it, you should. Warrior went up over on Hogan, and the Intercontinental Champion retained his title and gained the WWE title. Great match, and that I think put the Intercontinental title on the map in a sense.
Do you think it would have worked having Hogan win? I mean, back then,
no.
I mean, Warrior dropped the IC title. I'm presuming if Hogan won, he would have done the same. I mean, do you think it would have meant anything?
No. Because the way it would have been observed.
It means a lot having the IC guy, the one that had the belt, beat the champion.
Well, remember, especially at that time, if you had the Intercontinental Championship, you were being groomed to be the WWE Champion. Specifically at that time, the Intercontinental Championship is the workhorse title in the business. You know, a lot of guys will tell you that they personally wanted to be the Intercontinental Champion either solely or before they won their major championship, WWE at the time, obviously now World, whatever. But you know, in terms of a match that stands out in my mind, not to pick anything that's going to be common, but I'm going to go left field, Marty Jannetty versus Shawn Michaels. The tag team feud, and also in the VHS collection, you know, Shawn Michaels, who's on the clock. I'm putting it over.
You love the VHS.
That's my.
He loves the VHS. Huh, Michael?
That's my Rumble '92 line tonight. I'm out of there. And it's actually on a technical trivia. It's the first match that Vince McMahon makes on Monday Night Raw, because he's interviewing Shawn Michaels, and then Marty Jannetty comes out from the crowd dressed in sweats and rags or whatever, and Vince actually makes the match. So it didn't happen during the Attitude Era. It happened during the modern era, if you will, of Raw. So, yeah, but Jannetty Michaels was a big deal. Match of the year for PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated for people who are dumb. And the elation of the arena, Mr. Perfect's involvement, stuff like that. So that was a big deal. Your matches, Michael, if you have them down?
I'm going to go ahead and stick with the one that I still watch just because it's artistry. Macho Man, Ricky Steamboat, WrestleMania 3.
Okay. Why?
Great pick.
It's a good, yeah. Revered as the greatest Intercontinental Championship match of all time. No. That's common. I didn't stake it. Wow.
Anyway.
Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about superstars who should have been and shouldn't have been Intercontinental Champion. When we come back, don't go away. You're in time.
Macho Man, dude.
You mean to tell me his run as IC title is larger than his run as WWE champion?
I think his run as IC champion.
Answer the question, yes or no. Yes or
Was
no.
Owen ever IC champion? Shouldn't have been. You saw his face.
Yes or no.
Brett was too, right?
Is his WWE run,
Ted?
WWE title run, larger
Junior.
or lesser
Yeah.
than his IC run?
He should.
Yes
I think
or
it's
no?
larger.
I think he should.
Which was larger?
His IC championship run.
Bullshit.
Wow.
I like that run more. Well, let me take that back.
You gotta separate your personal bias though.
Yeah, separate the fuck out.
Because there's no denying Macho Man as IC champion was great.
Top 5.
Top 3 possibly.
Okay.
Now, but his run as WWE champion with Hulk Hogan.
I know the match. I know the
He was never
IC match.
the WWE champion as Macho Man. He was only a champion as Macho King.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
You're smoking that good shit. You're
No, I'm
smoking.
just giving you guys a hard time.
Listen to me,
truthfully.
you're just
I'm
smoking
giving you a hard
Steam
time.
out of my ears, baby.
Yeah, the steam out. We are back.
Oh, shit.
Lots of dissension.
All right.
Lots of dissension. I feel like primetime wrestling right now. Lots of dissension.
I feel like Flair told him Hulk.
Lots of dissension during the commercial break. Wow.
That was wow.
The Hans Gruber on the panel. Michael McDonald. Give me people who should have been Intercontinental Champion but never were.
That's so hard.
I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. I can give you a few people that I think shouldn't have been the champion, but off the top of my head, people that I feel should have been but weren't, I can't think of any. Not off the top of my head.
But did you word the question to leave me in that you were going to name people to then not name people?
Sure did. He basically.
When did I do
You
that?
led that question
He
up.
wanted to answer his own question.
You
so
led
we're
that
like-
question to make me believe that you had an answer to then not have an answer. You're a motherfucker.
You assumed. You shouldn't have assumed.
Right now, you're the old guy from Chuck and Larry who's wearing that abomination jacket. I'm just saying, right now.
Oh shit.
I never saw Chuck.
Elliot, get a dildo and fuck
Oh,
How have you never seen
shit.
Chuck and Larry? You're lying.
Neither have I. But then I'd be lying like you.
How do we joke about that movie all the time and you've never seen it?
He's a fucking liar. He's from Texas. Brokeback Mountain's the shit out there.
If you don't watch that movie by the end of the week, I'm not talking.
He was the gay stunt butt.
If you do not watch Chuck and Larry by the end of the week, I'm not talking to you. What?
If it's not on Netflix, I'm not watching it.
How about you have a laptop?
I'm using it right now, asshole.
He's
So
gonna,
there's tomorrow.
He's gonna.
There's the day after.
He's
There's
gonna-
the next couple of fucking days till the following Tuesday.
He's gonna email you the link, Dick.
I'll find it.
You probably already have.
Go for it.
Now it's going. Anyway, we're back. Lots of confusion during the break. Still reeling. At risk of a retake. Mike McDonald, give me a superstar who should not have been Intercontinental Champion.
I really don't feel Santino Marella should have won the championship.
That was flat out.
Damn, no emotion at all.
Can you explain why?
Because Santino Marella's a joke. He runs around doing the trumpet and going Cobra. He's a joke. He's a joke superstar. I have no respect for Santino Marella. The fact that he won it for Umaga was BS. No.
Is there anyone else?
He's my prime. I have a strong dislike of Santino Marella's championship reign. Any of them.
Is there anyone else?
Wow.
He's my primary dislike. He's the one person I feel should never have won it. Him and Big Show.
Okay, we've got a counter right here.
Guess who it is, baby?
Duke Logan. Take it.
First
Take
off,
it.
with Santino Marella, him winning the championship from Umaga, I agree with you. I actually agree with that. I don't think he should have won the Intercontinental Championship. However, However, number one, if you discrediting Santino Marella for an athlete that he actually is a pretty good athlete, you need to re-evaluate his matches and watch what. Let me finish. Watch what he does during his matches and the types of things that he can do, but just isn't allowed to. Just think about that. Remember, we're in a PG era, and he's a very funny man. Number two, if you got the Big Show, who at the time was underachieving. What better way to get him back on track than to place an IC title around and make him establish a ring of dominance with that? Then put him back into the title picture. I gotta disagree with you on Big Show. Agree with Santino, disagree with Big Show.
Big Show didn't really have much of a reign, though. Didn't it only last like a month?
But did he not decimate people during that reign?
How many title defenses did he have during that time frame?
72.
That's including live shows.
This man just said 72.
Johnny Blaze, help me out here. Superstar who should not have been. Intercontinental Champion.
D'Lo Brown.
Wow, that was also why.
He just, I'm sorry.
What is going on?
You know.
I disagree with that. D'Lo
Really?
Brown, yeah.
No. You're looking at the real deal now.
What? No.
That's exactly why.
He was good.
No. No, honestly though, that whole chest guard thing that he wore and he had the IC title.
Well, that was during the Euro run.
Oh, you're right.
That was during the Euro run.
But he was a great competitor at the time. Wow.
Honestly.
I mean, I'm looking at the list now of all the champions.
Okay.
And he's
the only one I have a problem with before you go is Dean Douglas.
Who I was just, that was what the attitude.
And that's only because the character just wasn't. That's the only one I have a problem. And I'm a huge Shane Douglas fan.
Dean Douglas was the prime person to take the title from Shawn Michaels when Shawn Michaels was leaving. And he took the title and made people hate him for it.
Right?
And it was a perfect spot to put that type of title on him.
I think because the Dean Douglas payoff didn't work is how I feel that way.
Possibly.
And I love Shane Douglas, one of the greatest ECW champions of all time. Tremendous wrestler, tremendous mic work. I lived for Shane Douglas at one point in my life. He is the anti-stat. He's anti. He is anti in anything professional wrestling. But I just think because the payoff to that character wasn't as great. And at the end of the day, to a lot of people, Dean Douglas' character might be in the closet at this point. At this point.
Possibly.
And I know that it's not at the top of my list when I bring up Shane Douglas. People who shouldn't have been Intercontinental Champion.
You know, I think of the lineage of the title, and I think of the people who held it. And, you know, thinking about this particular person, it's going to be a shocking. I don't think he should have been the IC champion only because his career was gold already. Like, he was the man. And I'm going to talk about Ric Flair. When he won the IC title, while I loved the moment,
What are you talking about Flair?
I'm talking about Ric Flair when he won the IC title, was it 2002?
2006.
I was close. Nevertheless, when he won the title, I loved the moment, but I just felt it was just to put it on him.
2005.
I felt they put it on him just because he's Ric Flair. That was a moment where I felt the title, he didn't need it.
While I don't disagree with that, or I don't disagree with your point,
But I love the moment.
I will put it to you like this. The same will be said if Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker won the title, but nobody will say it.
Triple H was already IC champion.
No, let's say.
I'd say the same thing with Undertaker if he won that belt.
But how many others would say that?
Everyone should say it.
Should.
I would.
I'm not.
Who should say it? No
Everyone
matter
should
who
say it.
will say it.
They'll say about Triple H because they think he controls the wrestling world, but they won't dare touch the other two. That's my feeling. I think people sugarcoat things when it comes to The Undertaker and Shawn Michaels.
Possible, but if Shawn Michaels won it again, then let's just say he's
Right.
retired.
And the only thing to say to counteract your point, because I'm not saying it isn't wrong, I'm not saying I don't see it, is that A, What he did with the belt during the time period wasn't stale or boring. Yes, he didn't need it, but the moment was great. He had a wonderful feud with Triple H, and he didn't lose it fast.
He didn't.
He had it from September of 05 to February of 06.
I'm not knocking him as the champion.
Right, he had a nice reign
He had
for
a
the
great
time
reign.
period.
My thing is, he didn't need it.
Don't disagree.
He didn't need it.
Don't
That's all.
disagree. Do not disagree. All right, now we're going to talk into superstars who should have been.
I'm gonna take the.
We're gonna try.
right there.
You want to open? Go ahead.
I thought this from day one, and you can. I hope I'm wrong. Bam Bam Bigelow. Was he ever Intercontinental Champion?
No.
That is a fatal error
Yeah,
on
yeah, he
WWE's
should've
part.
been.
Yeah.
And
I agree.
Especially when he first came in.
every single time
Not in the 80s one when he came in as a heel.
he had a match against Goldust for the IC title.
Uh-huh.
And Bam Bam Bigelow was set. What was funny was is that he's set as a big man. He's one of the WWE's top guys in the sense without a championship, and that's how they left him.
Right.
Due justice was not served.
Well, Bam Bam Bigelow's match versus Bret at King of the Ring was really, it was, as Bret Hart calls it, was a cute little match. It was really good for the King of the Ring. Your pick, Johnny Blaze? Should have been?
Should have been champion. Well, for one, I agree with Duke. Bam Bam should have been, and I feel like now, within a couple years, before the timing is wrong, they should give it to Ted DiBiase.
Teddy Bassett Jr.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't give it to the dad.
He never won it.
Yeah, but now, I should go.
Charlotte Classic got the Cruiserweight. Who's to say?
Nah, I think Ted DiBiase's due to have the IC.
Okay. So before I get into Michael McDonald, do you think that would be better than him trying to bring back again the $1 Million belt as the first DiBiase to win that?
That angle was played wrong.
Yeah.
That angle could have been
10 times better.
Oh, yeah.
a million times
Million
better
times better.
for all intents and purposes. I feel if you're going to use the $1 Million Championship belt, you have to include Ted DiBiase Sr. in the development of making sure it stays prestigious.
Okay. Duke Logan is right here.
Yes, I
Michael
am.
McDonald is on the screen. Should have been Intercontinental Champion.
Wait, Michael, you should have been champion?
Michael McDonald should have been.
You guys actually brushed on him briefly a few seconds ago. I feel senior Ted DiBiase should have won it.
Should have been the Intercontinental Champion.
I feel he should have got it.
Why is that?
I really do. I feel because the guy he was an incredible ring presence. He knew what he was doing. He brought in stunning Steve Austin, the ringmaster as he was later known, and then Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was a great guy. I loved his heel work. He had great work on the mic. He had good in-ring work, and the fact that he never got really recognized by getting the IC championship was kind of a slap in the face.
Well,
Same thing with him
we
not
talked
getting,
about it one
you know,
time.
the World Heavyweight Championship.
We talked about it one time, I think me and Michael McDonald, where, he created the $1 Million Championship because he couldn't acquire with WWE. Would that have worked if he was going after the IC belt? I say no.
No.
Because if you're going to create a belt, you have to be going for the top belt.
Right.
It wouldn't.
You have to be the same prestige and value as the top belt. You can't just go for
It
anything
wouldn't
with it.
work. But at the same feel, he should have got it.
Well, the technical thing was sounding off. My pick,
Godzilla.
I'm just trying to think.
He sinks again.
Really good for this one. Arn Anderson. He is the counter to the belt in NWA WCW. He's had the television, greatest television champion of all time is Arn Anderson. Held the most times. First 3 initial runs, I think out of like 6 or 7 times he's had the title. Tremendous. I think, to me, Arn Anderson might be, top of my head, I'm going to put him there now. Greatest television champion of all time. I know that if I change my mind, he'll be number 2. But because he is that championship in another promotion, I think timing being right, stars aligned, he would have been just as great for the WWE.
Yeah.
Another guy who I think could have been great Intercontinental Champion is to counterpart somebody who should have been. Roddy Piper would have been a great WWE Champion while feuding with Hulk Hogan, and putting the IC belt on either Cowboy Bob Orton or Orndorff would have been great at the time.
I can give you Orndorff, I can't give you Bob Orton.
Why is that?
There's certain superstars where you look at them and you just feel like, no, it wouldn't work. In my personal opinion, I'm not a fan of Bob Orton. I just feel like, no, it wouldn't have worked. I've never been a fan of what he's done.
Well, what are you a fan of?
I'm sorry, if you become, listen to this, if, in all seriousness, if you are known for something that's not necessarily wrestling, but you're known for a cast, when you think of Bob Orton, you think of the cast. You don't think about a title run that he should have had. You don't think about great matches he should have had. I think he ran with that casting.
But the dude is a one-man orchestra. We've had the top rope suplex. I said on a previous show, would hold guys at will for suplexes and power slams. Somebody needs to hit YouTube. Yeah, because that's something. I hope that changes.
It will never change.
I hope that changes.
It will never change.
I hope that changes.
Never.
But if I've said it 3 times, I'm going to talk about the greatest matches in wrestling and Intercontinental Championship history. We'll be back.
Oh my God.
And we're back after a tremendous amount of arguing. Greatest matches in Intercontinental Championship history. Johnny Blaze, save us.
How would you go to be first? How about Owen Austin? The match where
Very underrated.
The match where
Because the matches were
Austin
great.
ends up breaking his neck due to was it a pile driver?
Yeah. Owen breaks Austin.
I said Austin breaks his neck. We all know Austin had a broken neck. That was as you said, it's an underrated match. It gave Austin one. He ended up having to vacate.
Schoolboy. Perfect schoolboy.
It's a great match. People need to watch it.
Michael McDonald, favorite Intercontinental Championship contest.
Well, I said my favorite earlier, but I'm going to go with my second favorite. I actually really enjoyed Bret Hart versus Davey Boy Smith.
Why?
The main event, right?
Yep, SummerSlam, 92.
It's not my personal favorite, but I'm picking Rick Rude Ultimate Warrior at SummerSlam '89, Feel the Heat. Not many people give that match a lot of credit for both Warrior and Rude's part, obviously. That it should. Classic Intercontinental Championship matchup. Honorable mention to Texas Tornado, Mr. Perfect, Piper Brett, Mark Merrow, Triple H, always a personal favorite of mine. Hunter Hearst Helmsley against maybe, if I look, I'll get it. Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Rock, ladder match at Highway to Hell. The Rock Austin feud starts with the Intercontinental Championship, which people always forget, and those matches are always good. My personal favorite Intercontinental Championship match, though, Razor Ramon versus Rick Martel. My favorite Intercontinental Championship match. I'm not saying it's the best of all time, but my personal favorite, Rick Martel, Razor Ramon for the vacant Intercontinental Championship match. Greatest Intercontinental Championship matches of all time, Duke A. Slogan.
This is a tough one, only because there have been quite a few. Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, SummerSlam '93. That was a great match. I'm also gonna have to go Razor Ramon Goldust. And the reason I'm going with that is because not a lot of people wanted to work with Goldust because of his flamboyant ways, and I mean at that time period, people were kind of a little bit homophobic. You're wrestling and you have a guy who's willingly wanted to touch you. But it worked out really well. I felt there was great chemistry and it added luster to that title. An honorable mention though, Jeff Jarrett his last day in WWE versus, I think it was X-Pac, I believe?
Yeah, China.
China.
It's okay.
And
Yeah, it's nice.
he drops the title to China, but he didn't just mail it in. You know, he was there, it was a good match, and he was a great champion at that, too.
Yeah, Jim Jarrett, great Intercontinental Champion all his runs.
And he kind of passes it off to China, which was a great gesture as well.
Which, for those who know the story, could have gone either way. To close the show, put everybody here on the spot.
Nothing.
To close this very controversial show, with a lot of arguing internally, greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, Michael McDonald, take it away.
I'm going to go with Macho Man.
Okay, why?
Because Macho Man, he had everything you needed to go ahead and be a champion. He had the mic skills, he had the in-ring skills, he was a great heel, he was a great face. I just loved everything Macho Man did. And honestly, if I could, I would put Honky Tonk Man in that same spot if I could fit them both. And I would put Honky Tonk just because of how long he held the title. He held the championship for over a year. That's an impressive feat.
And Blaze?
I'm going to go with Chris Jericho. Record 9-time IC champion. Just like Macho Man, great on the mic, great in-ring skills. He just made you want to watch him. I like to be more with the belt on, too.
You talk about the IC title, and you got to think of Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig. Now, I'm going to put him above everyone, period. Above Macho, above Austin, above The Rock, above every single person who's ever held that title, including Pat Patterson and Honky Tonk Man. And say that Mr. Perfect, when he had that belt, even to the way he held the title, he made you think, you know what, he's the shit, and he's the one you have to beat, because he's the Intercontinental Champion, and no one's better than him. And he, every time he went out there, that's the type of match he put out. He was the embodiment of what an Intercontinental Champion should be. He is the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time.
My pick, gun in my hand, I have a tie. To Chris Jericho or Bret Hart. Chris Jericho or Bret Hart. One of the things that holds Jericho there is the amount of times he's done it. It's unprecedented with the Intercontinental title. Razor Ramon was the first guy to hold it, I think, 3 times. And then Jericho, 9 times. Unprecedented to do with a title that isn't the incumbent, the WWE, the World, the NWA, anything like that.
Probably isn't done still.
Probably still isn't done. You know? Bret, work rate is probably the textbook to getting that title and then becoming the WWE champion. Just real quick, I have to get this off my chest, and I wouldn't feel right doing the show without it. Underestimated Intercontinental Champion, Don Morocco. Never ever gets credit for half of what he does. Tremendous heel, tremendous talker, one of the all-time top 3 maybe for me Intercontinental champions. Tremendous innovator of the Tombstone Piledriver in terms of mainstream.
He becomes a victim of circumstance in terms of the type of people that were
Yes, he does.
at the time.
Yes, he does. But regardless, that shouldn't diminish his reign.
Absolutely not.
To kind of close the pit here. Dream match for the Intercontinental Championship. Michael McDonald, take it away.
Now, one question before I go and answer it.
Of course.
Would it have to be 2 people that were champion, or it can just be any 2 people for the
I guess it could be
championship?
anybody.
That's all
It's a dream,
It's a dream match.
I will have to go Savage and Daniel Bryan.
It's interesting.
Jericho Perfect.
Another good one. Another good one. Duke.
Macho Man Randy Savage versus Rob Van Dam.
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow, at a prime.
That would have been good.
Ooh.
420 and versus 88, 89. I don't know. That's interesting.
Ooh.
China versus Don Morocco. That's mine.
Ooh.
China versus Don
The
Morocco.
cops are coming for that one.
China versus Don Morocco. The antagonist that Don Morocco was, they are China.
And the man that she was.
It would have made everything Jeff Jarrett said and did look PG. It would have been annihilated. Don Morocco would have been the perfect guy from the back then to take that to another level.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, I know it got a dull reaction at first, but when you think about
When
it,
you start explaining it,
You
yeah.
gotta marinate a bit.
yeah, that's a sell.
You gotta push the buttons.
Nothing
as-
marinates Michael over there, though.
As always, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, it looks like a
No hard-ons, or no hard feelings for that matter. Join us next week. I hope you all do. I hope you guys do as well. Please join us. That's how we get the place. Next week's topic, dream matches, fantasy warfare. Any superstar, any announced team, any venue.
Oh, right, we get to pick a number.
The ultimate dream card. 10 dream matches. It's fantasy warfare.
Tom Jones, Blue Logan.
Tom Jones, Duke Logan.
Ricardo Rodriguez versus Howard Finkel.
Eagles are gonna-
Tuxedo match.
So get ready for that. It's going to be interesting.
Michael McDonald versus Lillian Garcia.
And we all know Lillian wins.
With Johnny Blaze and Hugo Savinovich commentating.
Yeah. Yeah. All the time, Krusty. In any event, thank you all for
I am
joining
Duke
us.
Logan.
As always,
Johnny Blaze.
subscribe, comment, tweet, all that nonsense.
Tumble.
Tumblr.
Facebook.
Out.
Tout. Yes, tout.
What's that one?
Who the fuck touts?
Tout. That's a 15-second video.
Scony.
And Sconies.
Not like Stone.
Sconies. All joking aside, we're making a Facebook page very,
Isn't that
very
a
soon.
disease?
But you can subscribe, you can send messages, you can comment below, you can catch me on Twitter. Don't promise a tweet, but you can catch me on Twitter at cheyennemcman, hashtag Cheyenne please tweet, trending someday. We'll see you next time!